And last week, there were so many of you amazing artists that I wasn't able to get up. But that's good. Busy is good. I'm glad you guys are here. And as usual, we'll start with a couple of my bullshit straight jokes and then I'll tell some fucked up stories. This one is one I got from my uncle growing up. So the survey engineers, the people that like have the little eye and the surveying thing for property lines and construction lines like that, right? So there's one of those guys, and he's training the new girl. And he's down the way running the rod, and she's running the eye back by the truck, or the truck's off over the side, right, whatever. They're so far away, they can't hear each other. So he is giving her sign language. He goes, I need a hammer. And she just goes, and he goes, I need a hammer. And she gives him and they go back and forth like this for some time, right? Finally, he walks on and he goes, I've been telling you, I need a hammer. And she goes, I know, I've been telling you, I left it in the box. So, you gotta be your own advocate when it comes to medical care, right? Sometimes you gotta be the advocate for a loved one. And this man had taken his wife to the doctor, and the doctor's office calls and he's like, I'm sorry, our system went down, but through narrowing it down, we've realized that your wife has one of two things. It's either dementia or syphilis. He goes, well, how do I know which one it is? He goes, well, the best I can tell you is, take her far away from home, the middle of nowhere. Just drop her off. And if she comes home, definitely don't fuck her. 'Cause then she's got syphilis and she knows what she's doing. So, I work at a local karaoke bar. I host karaoke. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights, come on in. We'll sing some songs, have some fun. But as you could imagine, there's a lot of good bits of material that come in there. Like graduation week for Northern. Very busy, very busy. I wasn't actually working on that Saturday night, but the other karaoke DJ cooks at the kitchen. So I filled in for him, started the night. And it was so busy, I had to run the door and check IDs. And before karaoke started, I had been at Black Rocks, the band was playing. And I noticed this table of pretty good-looking women. And later that night, those same good-looking women, they came into the bar. And I asked one of them for her number. She gave me a number. Turns out it wasn't hers. Because the next day, I get a text back, and it says, who's this? I said, well, it's Nick, the doorman from Flanagan's. He goes, oh, okay, this is her husband. I'll give her your number. I go, oh. I texted him back, I said, or, maybe we could just hang out. Because it sounds like we don't need her kind of negativity in our life. I think, and then I texted him a third time, and I go, after we get this whole thing sorted out, I think we should get an apartment together. He didn't want to play along. I was gonna start sending him pictures of chairs for sale, like a cup chair, but I don't know if it was him or his wife fucking with me. But either way, they didn't play along, so I gave up. So there I was, heading to a music festival one day. We'll call it Electric Forest. And I ate some Molly, had a nice lunch, and a nice nap with my lady friend. And then it was time to head up to the festival. So I'm driving up, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling groovy on my Molly, you know. I felt so good, I popped another capsule of Molly. And then I pull onto the grounds. Immediately, I regretted not stopping to take a shit in an air-conditioned bathroom, you know. Now I'm stuck with sweating one out of the porta potties. So I get in there and I'm just like, ugh. And I sit down in a porta potty. And I'm just sitting there. And the guy gets in the one next to me. He goes, "You want to know a fun new way to make friends?" I go, "Yeah, tell me about it." He goes, "Next time you're taking a shit in one of these things, leave the door unlocked." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna start right now." And I pop the lock open. And that dude gets done, and he gets out and he opens the door. And he goes, "Oh my God, you're actually shitting." I go, "I told you I was gonna start right now. What do you mean?" So another time, I'm at this festival. They hired me as head of safety and security, which is hilarious, to put me in charge of safety. Security, I got you. Safety, it's not my strong suit. But, as you might imagine, the power went instantly to my head. So I ran around that festival the whole weekend just saying no, everything. Like, no running. Kid would stop running. I'm like, "I'm just messing with you, buddy." People are sitting out in the sun, trying to suntan. I was like, "No sunning. Get in the shade." I come across this group of kids. They're hula hooping. And mind you, this is a small festival. So I had interacted with literally every person there at this point, telling them no something, you know. And there's these kids hula hooping, and I go, "No hooping." And this little 12-year-old redhead girl that I know was not from down south, but she decided to go full southern on me. She goes, "Why? Is it because I got these rusty hinges?" But I don't know. I thought it was one of the funniest things I ever heard from a 12-year-old girl. So this other time, there I was at another music festival. Surprised I was tripping. I'm just wandering around by myself. And this very amazing musician, Megan Dooley, my friend Megan Dooley, she's from Kalamazoo, Michigan. She was playing in the beer tent. And she was playing the guitar. She had the apparatus where the harmonica was hanging there too, and then she also had a tambourine on her foot. And she finished the song, she's in between songs, and she said, "Let's hear it from my drummer." Because I'm cheap, she says, right? And I sat down next to this old hippie lady, covered in turquoise. Sounds like she smokes a carton of Marlboros a week, you know, at least. And this chick leans over at me and she goes, "I'd really like to fuck her drummer." I almost fell out of my damn chair. And I continued to tell that same story that I just told you folks just now, throughout that summer. That was in June. Come August, I'm working the gate at another music festival, and some of my friends were just hanging out, and I'm bullshitting, telling them stories. I told them the story that I just told you. And as I told that story multiple times through the summer, I realized, you know, I was tripping really heavily. But I'm pretty sure that's what she said. My friends were like, "There's no way that she said that." And shit you not, about 2 minutes later, guess who comes walking up? It's that same lady covered in turquoise And I go, oh, I'm glad you're here. Maybe you can clear up this story for me. Because I've been telling my friends this, and they don't believe me. And this chick, she doesn't even break stride, right? Literally doesn't look at me, doesn't break stride. She goes, yeah, but she'd have to fuck my drummer too. I don't know, I thought that shit was funny. You guys remember the Corona? The virus, not the beer. So back, we're just coming out of Corona, so this was like 2022. I did construction at the time. And I came back from lunch, I was like, man, I'm definitely getting very sick. I should probably leave, people are so worried about Corona then. And so I left and went and just did this for a couple days, like, I was sickest I've ever been in my life. And people were like, well, with Corona, you lose your sense of taste and smell. They're like, how are those things going? Well, I haven't been able to smell anything for years between shattering my nose and an old cocaine injury. I can't smell anything. And if you met my ex around that time, I clearly have no taste. It was funny, in my first set, I told that joke, and I sent that set to said ex. And she was enjoying it up until I came across that joke, and she was like, wait a minute, I was your ex at the time, you dickhead. I was like, yeah, I know. So raise your hands if you ever shit your pants as an adult. Thank you, because there's two types of people in this life. People that have shit their pants as an adult, and liars. Some of my best bits and material have come from shitting my pants as an adult. Which, maybe I should have come up here a couple weeks ago. Because shitting my pants as an adult gives me a lot of my best material. One, because of the underwear I have to cut off and replace, and two, for the jokes. Probably the best one I can think of. There I was, at my best friend's bachelor party. And it wasn't a traditional bachelor party. We weren't out at strip clubs. We went to deer camp. And we just consumed all the booze and drugs you could imagine. And my guts were in some rough shape. I knew it was time to poop. And I was heading for the proper place. But I did not make it. And there I was wearing my Daisy Dukes. And my rule of thumb with Daisy Dukes is, when you cut them off, the pockets ain't showing, they're too fucking long. So I'm wearing Daisy Dukes and work boots. And I go to the outhouse that has the double door, So we always shit with the top half open so we can talk to our buddies. And I go in there with dookie leaking out of my shorts, I'm not gonna lie. and this is actually, I found out all this information years later. I go in there and I start hollering for my friend Elliot, apparently. And Elliot comes running to the rescue, because he's a homie like that. And I heard this from two guys that were sitting at the campfire. And Elliot comes running back from the outhouse and grabs the hatchet and brings it to me, because I used that to cut off my underwear and my shorts so I didn't have to take my boots off. And I guess I came out of there and I threw my shitty shorts into this barely smoldering fire in front of my two buddies, and I just go, got laid early. Oh, Let's see. I think that's about all the stories and jokes I got for the evening. I got a little too high and